innovative content, global audience.
Thank you. Hello, good morning, viewers. It's another beautiful morning here in the Federal Capital Territory. We're reaching you live from our SROTV studio here in Abuja. This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Princess KESSY. I have with me on the show today
MARYVAL Easy.
How was your night, Mary?
My night was cool. Bro,
I know you this morning. The cold, the rain.
Honestly, it was just too much. Like, I didn't sleep well, though.
Even me, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I was just sitting down. I don't know why. I had a lot of things, so much on my head. But just thinking, writing. Same here. I have a lot. But anyway, we thank God for today. We decided Abuja, the rain today was something else.
So
like
something
I woke
else,
up,
like
I could on my way to the office. I was struggling to drive because the road is still
the worst part is that the traffic was not much, maybe because of the rain.
I left quite early.
Okay.
I got to the office way around before 7, so I left my home around 6:30.
Wow.
I left very, very early because I knew that after that rain, the traffic today would be terrible.
It's terrible.
So I had to just enter the rain and I left.
Traffic is just so much. Like, I'll be like, man.
I was gonna call you anyway to see if I could come, but my network just went off.
Yeah, this network issue since yesterday. May God help us. I don't know if it's because of the rain.
And some people are saying that. No, I don't think it has anything to do with the rain, because I asked some people yesterday, said their phones network just went off, ceased. I think MTN, all the providers were having issues.
Okay.
But I was surprised. Is it that they will have issues at the same time?
Because the thing is everywhere, even Glow network.
It's everywhere.
Not just MTN.
Yes. Anyway, we will see how that goes today, but we have a lot of trending issues, viewer. Later on the show, I'm going to bring in a guest to discuss some of the issues. But before then, we're going to kickstart with our newspaper reviews. Don't go anywhere, viewers. Before that review, I'm going to come back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtime 7 o'clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince of Mine.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga. My name is Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night. The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week. The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because
we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince of Money is in the building.
Yeah.
Go get your ticket. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi. Okay.
Ice Prince. Yeah.
Ice Prince.
Okay, my people, it cannot be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619. Or email it to events@superiorradioandtelevision.com, and the ticket will be sent to you ASAP. This is powered by SRTV London and TapTap Send. You already know what time it is. Your boy Ice Prince Amani. I can't wait to ride
this. Okay. Yes, you're welcome back from that break. We kickstart our newspaper reviews immediately. I'm going to start with the Blueprint newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories making waves from the Blueprint newspaper. And the May headline here says, ahead, May 29 inauguration. Pressure mounts on APC over Babio Abbas endorsement. And the rider says, legislative aides back National Working Committee. Group calls for ex-Akwa Ibom governor's probe. 150 reps members elect mobilize. Storm APC secretariat for Abbas. And the other writer says, we are still consulting, says party chair Adamu. Now, all these stories on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says, I deliberately closed borders to enhance economy, foster security, says President Buhari. And that story is on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. Also, we have a story here that says Kogi versus AGF. Supreme Court cautions against harassment of government officials. And that story is on page 7 of the Blueprint newspaper. Also have a story here that says RODC saving Nigeria 138 billion naira from production of Greek equipment for fabrication. That story, it's on page 21 of the Blueprint newspaper. There's a story here also that says no extra monetary request from pilgrims, says NACO. That story is on page 13 of the Blueprint newspaper. We have a story here that says UBA set new record, boasts 53% female board membership. That story is on page 23 of the Blueprint newspaper. Now, these are all the stories coming from Blueprint newspaper this morning.
Okay, the story here that caught my attention.
Okay.
I deliberately closed borders to enhance economy, foster security. Which security? In which country?
That is
this same country like this.
Because we see killings on a daily
everywhere.
Basis. Benue, Kaduna, Kano, everywhere. Niger and even Kogi, other states.
Honestly, maybe the government think they're doing much. They might actually think they're doing much in terms of this security stuff, because to me, they're not doing anything.
Or maybe they are not following the trends, the headlines, because I don't know what to say, but I feel like insecurity in this past few months has been on a very, it's been too much, if you ask me. And then we see that also there's a story here that says the legislative aid back National Working Committee call for Akwa Ibom governor's probe, and that is Akpabio, I guess. Yes. I remember when Akpabio crossed over from PDP to APC, and Oshomole then said, once you are, we don't care what you have been doing in other party, whatever you do, once you enter APC, our party, that means your sins are forgiven.
Can you imagine? In this country.
You see, now people are now calling for his probe, because then everybody was saying, how can Akpabio even join? All of you say PDP are corrupt, the members are corrupt, and now because he joined APC, automatically he's...
Yes. Honestly, this say that politics is a game is true. It's really a game. Like, you can actually predict their next move, honestly.
And I won't blame it. I think at this point, every politician, they should be probed. Not just the governor. All of them should be probed. They should come and tell us what is happening with them, their asset, everything. They should declare everything for us to see. And another thing is not just declaring the asset. I feel like when you're leaving office as well, you should be able to tell us this. I came in with this amount, and this is how much.
Which they don't do in this country.
They don't. They only declare when they are
coming. They just leave all the problem to the next person. The next person will leave it to another person, and the whole system remains that way. No changes. Honestly.
Anyway, we'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
Okay, the next newspaper we have here is the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, the big headline here says, why are closed borders banned rice importation, says Buhari. Seun Kuti released, says Buhari. You can find that story on page 6 and 11 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Seun Kuti released on bail. You can find that story on page 21 of the Tribune newspaper. Kogi AG versus AGF. Supreme Court cautions against continued harassment of Kogi officials. You can find that story on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune. Prepare for pandemic worse than COVID-19. WHO warns. You can find that story on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. Ekiti Airport to begin operation in October. You can find that story on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. Presidential election petition court merges APM Atiku Obi's petition. That story is on page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerian students, others can no longer take family to UK from January. You can find that story on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. NAS presiding officer, horse trading may accommodate N Central. That story is on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. How I want to be buried, Olubara of Ibara. That story is on page 13 on the Nigerian Tribune. 14.3 million Nigerians ages 15 and 64 engage in drug abuse. NDLEA. You can find that story on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. I think that's all the story making wave in the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
I saw a story here that says prepare for pandemic worse than COVID-19.
Like, you know, I'm
coming
scared.
from the World Health
Like, just scared me. Good.
Please, we don't have the strength and energy anymore.
We cannot face that same COVID-19 trauma.
We don't
this
have
time
that
around.
energy. We just really hope that
they are doing something for us.
Yes.
To prevent this old stuff.
The disease control office is going to be on top of this to make sure that we don't have such issues in Nigeria. And then I saw a story here that says 14.3 million Nigerians ages 15 to 64 engaged in drug abuse.
That's
this
bad.
Is coming from NDLEA. I think I once did that report on my head show.
Yes.
And I'm even more surprised that elderly people as well are doing drugs abuse and into drugs
now,
abuse.
is it out of depression? Or
yes,
what could actually...
one factor. You know, the doctor did mention that is one of the factors. Pressure here and there, frustration could be a factor as well.
Honestly, it's not funny.
It is not at all. We'll keep talking on that.
Congratulations to Ekiti people as their airport begins operation in October.
Yes,
congratulations
to them. I think I'm even thinking of the opinion that every state in this country should actually just have airports, because it will ease movement for a lot of people and it will ease pressure also on the highways. And then I saw congratulations to Sheikh Kuti. Finally, he's out on bail.
Very important. Congratulations. Maybe we calm down now.
Yes, he has been there for days.
Honestly, nobody's able to know.
And this Nigerian student, others can no longer take family. We saw that story. We saw the story yesterday as well.
Yeah.
And I know that there's this Twitter, there's this guy, this YouTuber, that actually he has been on a backlash since yesterday, because he said that most of these people who apply for schooling abroad is just a guy, not like they even need the certificate for anything.
Really?
Yes, that they don't even go to school. When they just go there, they will just go to the school somehow, but they don't even need the certificate. So the only way they travel out is to disguise as students, as if they are going for study.
Yeah.
So he had that interview with BBC yesterday, and the the outcome of that interview was not even funny. Nigerians have been on his case since yesterday on Twitter.
About really say such a thing?
Yes, he said that the student route is more likely an answer prayer. It's a big way for them. That's just the only way they can travel. That's the only way they can take people out. Because if you say you want to travel, you know now
it's very difficult. It's only that students visa that they can grant very fast.
That is true, and this is coming on the heat for the UK restraining students, including Nigerian students, from not traveling with their.
I mean, I was even happy that it has been easy for Nigerian people to travel to UK all this while, but I don't know.
You know, this is coming on the wake of the new immigration rule that prevent Nigerian students and others from studying in the UK for bringing their family as dependents, except under specific circumstances. And that story was really Twitter was agog yesterday. Anyway, we move on quickly now to the next newspaper we have, and that would be the Punch newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories coming from the Punch. We have here Tinubu's inauguration. Security agencies raid hotspots. Biden names U.S. delegation, and the rider says Housing and Urban Development Secretary to lead U.S. team to May 29 handover. Also have a story here that says security agencies to restrain movements to Eagle Square beginning from Friday. And the last rider here says UK ex-prime SPM Blau meets president-elect, says running government a tough job. Now, all these stories on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And then there's a story here as well that says Tribunal Atiku Obi tackle Tinubu as hearing begins Tuesday. On page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says CBN revokes 179 microfinance banks orders licenses, and that story is on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here that says panic in Onshu as 35 people hospitalized after inhaling tear gas. That story is on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says Amosu to blame Dangote relocated refinery to Lagos. Abiondu, that story is on page 16 of the Punch newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from Punch this morning.
So why is Amosu blaming Dangote?
Well, this is everything they want to do with, now. Probably he was expecting.
Is it that he wants Dangote to have built it in the north
in a state?
Okay.
In his own state, probably.
I believe he has his reasons for doing it.
And then panic in Osun as 35 people hospitalized after inhaling tear gas. How come? What happened?
35.
You might want to see that story by getting a copy for yourself. And as well, we saw that CBN revokes 179 microfinance banks orders licenses.
CBN is not smiling.
I think this microfinance bank, I don't know. I just have a feeling about anything microfinance.
But the bank, I don't know. Thank God you just read about it right now. The bank is not raining. I don't know. As if they are going down.
No, but they are what they do is not like other banks. I think they are more into loans and all that.
That's why you hardly hear about them.
But people are still going there. They of course they have clients, they have customers.
But you cannot compare them to First Bank, Access Bank,
because it's not the same thing they do now. That is it. And then we have a story here that says security agencies to restrain movements to Eagle Square beginning from Friday. So if you're in Abuja, you know that as from on Friday, please, if you don't have any business at Eagle Square or even Central area, please look for another.
Look at now, they now know that they want to bring a lot of security at Eagle Square by Friday. Yes. Meanwhile, other states in Nigeria are suffering from lack of security, the killings and all that.
But what do you expect?
This country,
this is we're talking about the president and the president-elect.
And I know a lot of people are coming. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, a lot of foreigners as well. So it's only good that the security we have to be on ground even before that day. So please, I'm still appealing to residents. If you don't have anything you do as from Friday at Eagle Square,
don't go there.
Secretariat, please mind your business and stay at home. Okay, we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
Okay, the next newspaper is coming from this day. The big headline here says, Buhari, my government invested in infrastructure for economic growth, property. Okay, the first rider here says, defense is administration, high debt profile. The second rider here says, insist borrowed funds are tied to visible projects. And also, inaugurate second Niger bridge, two others, road projects. And here the next rider here says, names federal secretariat Yenegua after ex-presidents. Okay, after ex-presidents, Goodluck Jonathan. Southeast governors shower economism on presidents for unveiling bridge. You can find those stories on page 40 of this day newspaper. 28 years after pulling out, NNPC resumes crude oil drilling campaign in Chad Basin. The first rider says, Buhari carry Komolafe, others upbeat about hitting oil soon. And the second rider says, 943 million barrels initial yield expected. You can find that story on page 40 of this day newspaper. I think that's all the story making wave in this day newspaper this morning.
We're still very happy about the second Niger bridge. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Congratulations to us. And also congratulations to the ex-president. That is one president I really liked. He is calm, he's so calm, he's so quiet. And then
Good luck, Jonathan.
yes, I love that man a lot. And the fact that he left at that point of handing over, he made everything so easy, even at the heat of people saying,
He was still
don't give
calm.
up,
Yeah.
we'll fight this and all that. He said, the blood of Nigerians and my ambition is not worth it to take away lives. And that is something
A sacrifice that not everybody can make.
Yes, we actually love the man for. That is something that we'll continue to applaud. And now we move on quickly to the next newspaper we'll have, and that is the Vanguard newspaper. May headline here says, after May 29, Niger Republic will defend me if Buhari, on page 5. And the writer says he deliberately shut land borders, adds only God can secure Nigerian borders. Wow. And he said, explain why he appointed a lady minister of finance. And these are some of the riders coming from the presidency, these headlines. I love this one here that he said, says he deliberately shut land borders, adds only God can secure Nigerian borders. Because even with the shutting down, the security is still on the high.
Honestly.
So what was the need for that? And then we also saw a story here that says Biden announces 9-man delegation for Tinubu's inauguration.
I think Biden is so serious about this inauguration like never before.
Yes,
I'm so surprised though.
Page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also have a story here that says Supreme Court cautions against the harassment of Kogi officials, on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says 10th NAS leadership, how Tinubu Kwankwaso Paris Pali may alter permutations. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Well, there's a story here that says we found oil where others ran away, NNPC. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says we will be prudent with 115 billion naira bonds, Sonwolu, on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Assault on police, Sheun Kuti released on bail. That story is on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says presidential poll court merges Atiku Obi APM's petition for hearing May 30th, on page 27 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says import bill on manufactured goods falls 18.4% to 2.45 trillion naira, on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. And these are all the stories we have. And we say Ohando Lamata to build local capacity with electric mass transit buses. That story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have coming from the Vanguard this morning. I saw a story here that says the president saying that it's only God that can actually secure the borders. Yes, to him, he has done his part. He has done his best. Maybe his best is not good enough, but at this point, we just hope and believe in God, and also we
that the next government will be better. This one is saying after May 29th, the Niger Republic will defend him.
In case of any we decide to abandon him as Nigeria. Maybe you want to see the full details of that story. And there's a story here that says also records how he lost 2 children to sickle cell. Nigeria won't miss Buhari. This is coming from Afenifere. It shows his committed to Nigeria. This is coming from NBF. Buhari's statement validates earlier speculations of his ties with Niger. And then this is coming from PanDef. A lot of stories here on Vanguard. You might just want to get a copy for yourself.
But this one say Wando Lamata to build local capacity with electric mass transit buses. Can't wait though. Can't wait for this one.
But can something really work in Nigeria?
Like I said, I can't
Those
wait.
things, is it not straight through? I don't know, but the traffic and a lot of things we have here. Anyway, we'll see how that go. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have. But before then, we'll go on a quick break, and then when we return, we'll continue with the reviews. Don't stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtimes 7 o'clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince Amani.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga.
But my name now is Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because
we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince Amani's in the building.
Yeah.
Go get your ticket. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi.
Okay, I'm back with a flow, no joking. You gotta muscle up.
Ice Prince.
Yeah. Ice Prince.
Okay, my people, it cannot be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1 to the account in Nigeria using SRTV as your transaction code. Screenshot your transaction and send to 447-459-513619 or email it to.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. We're still on the newspaper reviews. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and the next paper here is
the Daily Trust newspaper. Okay, the big headline here says ministers hand over ahead of cabinet dissolution. And here the first rider says Pantami belongings move out of ministry. FCT minister orders more demolitions. Sad. Another story here says aviation ministry appoint 20 new directors. Sadia in project commissioning gallo. FEC in marathon meeting. You can find the stories on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Court consolidates article Obi's petition against Tinubu. You can find that story on page 15 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Lake Chad oil well to yield 943 million barrels as Buhari flags of exploration. UK bars Nigerian student orders from traveling with family. You can find that story on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Mixed reaction through new Sokoto marital expenses law. Let me come again. Mixed reactions through new Sokoto marital expenses law. You can find that story on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Daily Trust Foundation trains journalists on budget tracking. You can find that story on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. 10 Borno LGAs not connected to nation grid. Shehu of Borno. That story is on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. I think that's all the story making wave here in this Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
You know, I used to wonder when these people are leaving office, at that time they move out their stuff from offices, from homes. How's the feeling like? It only shows that while you're there struggling for power, know that someday too you will come and you will
Nothing lasts forever.
It's transit, you cannot have it forever. So
That's
don't even try to kill yourself or kill others over that office or that power you're struggling to have. Yes, there's a
Daily Trust Foundation trains journalists on budget tracking. Wow. That's cool.
That's a good one. And there also there's a story here also that says minister handover ahead of cabinet dissolution. You see that an FCT minister order more demolitions. I don't know. They demolish, and then the people you demolish their homes, you have refused.
No matter how the masses start to complain, these people, they are not listening.
You have
Honestly.
refused to just pen ordinary signature, offer letter to these people. Look at the protest they had yesterday.
Causing more problems.
Look at this number.
That is everywhere.
Men.
That is everywhere. Unfortunately, they don't care.
And at the end of the day, you continue to demolish people's houses, people's buildings, business places, without resolving their issues. They bought the land from government. Okay, give us the paper, the offer letter, the approval letter, and you've been holding on to that for more than 8 years.
And this particular minister knows that once he goes out of that seat, it will be difficult for the next person to still sign it.
That is what I brought in the man yesterday on the show, the chief, and he said, we are just coming down. We are holding our peace for now, because they said he doesn't have the time, 6 days. It's just, and the guy said yesterday, but if it's to sign money, if it's to do other things,
he will do it within
they will do it within that 6 days. It's really sad, and I do feel for these people. I really do feel for them.
Aviation Ministry appoints 20 new directors. Wow, that's a good one. And I saw another news here, another headline here that caught my attention. Second Niger Bridge commissioned, renamed after Buhari. That is on page 27.
Yes,
of the Daily Trust newspaper.
Congratulations to him. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that is the Nation newspaper. Now, these are some of the headlines coming from the Nation. The main headline here says, "We borrowed for projects to create wealth," says Buhari. And the writer says, President Buhari speak on debt burden, second Niger Bridge, roads, faces inaugurated, offices inaugurated. Now, all these stories on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says tribunal orders consolidation of PDP, LP, APM petitions. Obi, LP get 3 weeks to prove case. Hearing must end August 8th. Witnesses to testify from May 30th. And now all these stories are also on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says Biden's team for Tinubu's inauguration. Blow, we will back incoming government. All these stories are on page 1 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says foreign students barred from bringing family members to UK, and this story is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. We also have a story here that says stop harassing Kogi officials. Supreme Court tells anti-grift agencies, and the story is on page 11 of the Nation newspaper. I think we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtime 7 o'clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince Amari.
Ginger, aka Swagger.
My name now is Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because
we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince Amani's in the building.
Yeah.
Go get your ticket. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi.
Okay, I'm back with the flow, no joking. You gotta muscle up, cause no pain, no gain. All the boys just wanna jump, so okay, I'm blessed. best friends.
Okay, my people, it could not be better than this. The Nigerian Week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low.
Yes, you're welcome back from that quick break. We're still on the newspaper reviews. We'll continue with the Guardian.
Okay, the big headline here says in the Guardian newspaper, division over oil search in North as NNPC returns to Lake Chad. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Buhari clears over 40 pending memos, appoints agency heads. You can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria absent as African leaders fault global debt financing models. That story is found on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Concerns as Buhari withhold assent to sexual harassment bill days to exit. You can find that story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. Kogi AG versus AGF. Supreme Court caution against harassment of Kogi officials pending outcome of suits. You can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Buhari fragile pieces. Governance sounds rule of law. I think that's all the headline making wave.
So there's a story here that says Nigeria absent as African leaders fault global debt financing models. Why are we absent from that meeting?
The financing models. Man, I don't even know what to say right now. And Nigeria is the agents of Africa.
Anyway, we go on the next newspaper, the last newspaper we'll have.
That is the Punch Sports Extra. Okay, the big headline here says, we are Nigerians, we fear nobody. You can find that story on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Osimhen hunger won Napoli Scudetto Cavani. You can find that story on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. Miller opens up on Liverpool exits. You can find that story on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra. United in Neymar talks. That story is on page 8 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Bellingham urged to delay Madrid move. That story is on page 2 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. We want him. Madrid contacts Villarreal for Chukwueze. That story is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Saka pens long-term Arsenal deal. That story is on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Messi moves to Barca, suffers setback. That story is on page 2 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Italy's Chelsea wonder kid wary of Eagles. That story is on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Billish flying Eagles eye last 16 spots as they engage on the youth Azuris at the United 20 World Cup. That story is also on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. United willing to sell Marshall. That story is on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra this morning. I think that's all the story making wave.
We are Nigerians, we fear nobody. Good one. We like that confidence. And I don't know, I'm not really a sport person, but why are they selling players, selling people? That is one thing I've not understand in the world of football. But when I hear selling
players, we can't stay in the sports most times.
So who sells who to who and from where to where?
They will sell it to another club with a higher amount. You might actually be in Chelsea and Arsenal wants to buy you beyond what Chelsea bought you. So you want to make money. And that is why
so it's not the Chelsea now that will sell you the club, but maybe your manager.
Another club might decide to sell you out. Wow. And if Chelsea really wants you, they'll top the money beyond what that club wants to buy you. But if they don't want to again, they will allow them to sell you.
Good for them. And that is a good place to wrap up the newspaper reviews. Like I did promise earlier that I was going to come with a guest. Now this is the time. I'll go on a quick break. When I return, I'll be coming back with my guest. Now don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtime 7 o'clock.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince Amani.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga.
But my name now is Femi, aka the music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat night.
Afrobeat night.
The Afrobeat night.
Afrobeat night.
Nigerian week in London.
The Nigerian week.
The Nigerian week.
The Nigerian week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because
We're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince Amani's in the building.
yeah.
Go get your ticket. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi.
Okay, I'm back with a.
Ice Prince.
Yeah. Ice Prince.
Okay, my people, it cannot be better than this. The Nigerian week in London 2023 got you covered to the extent that you can get a free ticket to the event. And this is all you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download TapTap app. Send as low as £1.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. Like I did promise, I was going to come back with a guest. My guest is here. Our guest is here. Yes, we have issues of the Jabba syndrome when we talk about why do you think a lot of people are going away from the country, and now on the heat of the UK even banning students from traveling with their families, including Nigerian students. Now, a lot of the youths don't want to know where they are going to. I don't know for what reason, but they just want to leave the country. And on that note, we have with us this morning on the show, Chief David Okwero Ukweku. He is the CEO of Always Limited and the UPU Ghana president. Welcome to the show, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
How are you? I'm fine. How are you, sir, this morning?
We are very fine.
Okay, so we have a lot of Nigerians traveling, going, leaving the country. Some say bad economy, some say bad leadership, some just want to go for greener pastures. Now, what do you think? Why do you think Nigeria prefer to leave the country in any dehumanizing way? They don't care where they're even going to, they just want to go away. Now, what's your, especially the youths, what's your take on this?
Yeah, Nigeria as a country have failed us. Looking at the situation back home, you will notice that there's no future for the youth. So the only hope they have is to go out there and fight for themselves. Because if you look at our graduates, there's no job. Nothing to write home about, then coupled with the insecurity. So because there's no job for the youth, what they've taken to fighting for themselves into going into different illegal means like kidnapping, stealing, and the rest. So the little one that have their way, they will look for a way to leave the country. Like in Ghana here, we have a lot of Nigerians. Within the West Africa, Gambia, Senegal, not only in the UK, those who have upper hand from a good family, they think of going to UK with the aims of, they will just target that they are going to study.
To study, yes.
The truth is that they are relocating.
They are running away.
Canada, US, and all of that. So the insecurity, one, then let me say the unemployment is the major reason.
Okay.
Because if they are gainfully employed, no one will think of leaving this country.
That is true.
Just say that there's no place like home. And it's true, there's no place like home. But what are you going back home to do? You go there, sit down doing nothing to join the bad ones? No, so you prefer either to remain where you are or those at home to relocate to where they know they can find helpmate. I think that's the truth.
Okay, so I was going to ask, what is the relationship between Nigerian residents in Ghana with their hosts?
It's not easy though, but I think we are still trying our best to see how best to push so that the Nigerian government will meet with the Ghana government to see how best they will have a talk on some of the issues affecting we the Nigerians
Okay.
here. I've been in Ghana for over a decade, and things are really changing.
Okay.
And the government is tightening their policy
Okay.
to see that most of the Nigerians either they leave or they don't even come back to Ghana at all. Previously, our resident permit here, we are paying, let me say, 40,000 naira a year.
Okay.
But it has been increased to almost about $1,000, which is about 700,000 naira a year.
Wow.
So you can put to that here. So last 2 weeks we had the Nigerian embassy, and we put up some of all these cases before the High Commission.
Okay.
They said yes, there's a meeting they are trying to organize between the Ghana government and the Nigerian government to review the bilateral relationship so that they will see to some of all those things. But the meeting is not coming up. I have put it to the High Commission that if they have a way to hasten to hold that meeting, because it's not easy. Some of us who are here living legally, peacefully, I've been in Ghana for, let me say, 13 years. I have all my resident permit, pay tax to the government of the country.
Wow.
But now they are making it difficult. Yes.
Difficult.
I have my company here, I pay tax.
Now, do you want to? Yes. Do you want to? Do you think we cannot tag that on? There is this. I don't know whether that's a misconception or the make believe or the allegations that Nigerians, a lot of our youth from here, go to Ghana for dubious means. Yes. That they do a lot of evil, a lot of rituals, a lot of Yahoo activities there. Do you think this is the reason?
I think that's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. In the sense that though in every 12 years a Judah.
That is true.
It's true.
Yeah, I did an interview here in Ghana some time ago. I think it was during the Nigerian independence year, where I made them know that Nigerian population we have over 200 million, and Ghana is just 20 something, let me say 30 million. So where there is a crime, they should try to fish out. And another thing that is affecting us, the Ghana media, they are using their media very well.
Okay.
Very, very well. If there's a crime scene anywhere in Ghana, the first impression they present that, Nigeria, is in Nigeria, is it this? But after investigation, if they get to know the person is not in Nigeria, the media will not go back to media and say, so crime that happened in so place, in so that we thought is in Nigeria, is not in Nigeria. It's a Ghanaian or it's also national. They won't do that. But the impression already gone that,
Nigerian, yes. Yes.
So they use that against us. And when you say most Nigerians who came to Ghana, they are for dubious reason, it's not true.
Okay.
I take example of myself. I've been in Ghana for how many years? I have my company registered. I pay tax. I do all my things legally. Nobody has come to my compound to say anything.
Wow, okay. that is interesting.
Like City Light,
okay.
Dr. Christopher Bareki. What would you say about the Nigerian banks here? Are they here for dubious character too? We have Nigerian investment on every corner of this country. So we have people who are doing well and are paying heavily to the government of Ghana.
Okay.
So you will not use because of maybe the few ones who you tag as maybe Yahoo to just
judge everybody. Yes.
You see, so we have good Nigeria who are doing very, very well. Even the government of Ghana can testify to that.
Wow, that is quite interesting, and we are happy that you are there. You are making us proud as a Nigerian and as a Nigerian youth. Now, the youths are supposed to be the future leader, but the way they keep traveling out, what do you think will be the hope of the future Nigeria?
One of the things we as Global Progress Union are doing, we are trying to encourage our people. One, even if you are not in Nigeria, try to do something back home. That's one.
Okay.
Then two, those ones that comes here without meaningful thing, we give them reason to go back to Nigeria. I remember there was a day I was leaving Ugeli to Lagos. But I didn't go with flight, so I used a go for it.
Okay.
Inside the car, there's one small boy in the car said he's going to Lagos. What are you going to do? He said he's going to learn work. Which work mechanic? I said, okay, no. You can learn that same work in Ugele. I gave the Agofre driver money to take him back to Ugele and with my card. Now, when he gets to Ugele, he should call me. I will provide accommodation and see to it that he finished learning the work and set him up.
Wow, that is, we should applaud that.
Like 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks, I went back to Nigeria. I met with the driver. What happened? He said the guy refused to go back.
Wow.
So you see, we'll keep encouraging our people. And another area where we are very, very concerned as a community here in Ghana is our guests who are coming here for prostitute. They are spelling our name.
Wow.
But most times,
yeah, if you go to any bar in Ghana now, you will see Nigerian girls all over the place.
Okay, so I was going to ask, most times I learned that when they go there, most times they give them the condition that they must go into prostitution, else they chase them out of the house. And sometimes they are being stranded and all that. How true is
yes,
that?
Not only the girls, both the boys, what they do, they have this agent bringing them from Nigeria. And is not healthy for us at all as community. Even the Nigerian embassy is so much concerned in it. They have these drivers, just, I don't know how they talk to them. They will just put them in car, bring them to Ghana and sell them to different people. And when they do that, they maltreat these boys because they spend money in getting them. They maltreat them. 3 days ago, the immigration officer in Nigeria, they called us that they were stranded in Nigeria roaming around. If you look at their bag, they were being flogged with laptop cable.
I am surprised that such things are still happening in this time
so
and age.
We took them, and tomorrow we are taking them to the park to go back to Nigeria. So it's not easy. We are seeing how best we are going to get to those agents who are bringing them from Nigeria.
So, but how do you think we now correct this situation? Because it's really sad that the young girls that are supposed to be here, it's better you are here, you're struggling rather than going somewhere to be a slave to another person.
If I will screenshot my WhatsApp message for you, there is one who is begging me now that he wants to go back to Nigeria. So I'm thinking of how best we'll raise money to send her back to Nigeria. So what we plan to do as a community is to have a jingle in some of these radio stations and TV stations.
Okay.
To be running in Nigeria so that they will be watching it.
Okay.
So that if that one can help a little, because it's not easy. Every blessed day call from immigration, police, and some Ghanaian who knows we are the community leader.
Yes.
Bringing Nigeria, sometimes 20, sometimes 10, 5, like that.
Wow, this is really scary. And now it boils down to the fact, it boils down to what you said earlier.
Even at that again, I met with a girl, they called me from the police station. Young girl of about 17, between 17 to 19 years old, brought here for prostitute. And after the conversation, I said, no, this girl can't be here. I gave her transport to go back to Nigeria. You know what she did? She didn't go back. After like a month, I saw her in Ghana again.
Wow, and I want to blame this on what you said earlier as well, that when you live in a country where you don't have insecurity is the problem, no jobs, nothing is working well. Like I said, these people just want to go. They don't care where they are going to, whether or not they are going to suffer.
They should take into
consideration, yes.
Where they are going. There's no help coming from anywhere. You need to struggle it out yourself. Ghana is not a country one we just wake up and come. Even if you are wealthy, if you have your money, you can't just come to Ghana because one, everything in Ghana you pay.
Yes.
The water you drink, you pay. Where you sleep, you pay. And even the air you breathe here, you pay because you have to pay for the resident permit, which is about $1,000.
Wow. So, I never knew that we pay that much in Ghana.
Yes, and we are lucky we registered our company as early as 2010, 11, 12, thereabout. Now to register a company in Ghana, you must have a cabinet shares of about $3 million. When we registered ours, it was $300,000, but now it's $3 million. So where are you going to have $3 million capital share?
Wow, that is quite high.
I think they agree.
So coming together, you should think twice, and it's not easy. If I tell you every month we send nothing less than 10 people back to Nigeria, you calculate that 80,000 naira times 10 every month.
Now, I was going to ask you, as the president of the UPU in Ghana, how have you been able to impact it, especially talking about uniting and, of course, helping the youth? But with what you've said so far, I think this is more than impact.
Yeah, we are trying a little we can. Even yesterday, there's a lady with a baby who came from Delta State too. She grew up in Yoruba. She's here stranded. Yesterday, we just met her. We are seeing her best move. There's one of our sisters who run a restaurant here. We said, okay, she should be managing that tea. We'll meet again in our executive meeting, raise money for her to go back to Nigeria.
Some of these things are
aside, even Nigerians coming here, we have our people who have settled down before. A lady called me, married to an Urubu man, a Ghanaian, with her children here. She called for our help to still look into it. The little can, because so long he has given birth to our children, will still look up to them and see how best will bring them, teach them Urubu, so that they will learn our language, so that in future they will know that they came from a place.
Wow, this is quite interesting. Well, thank you so much for all you do over there. We appreciate your work. We just hope that we'll see more of people like you, more of your type. Yes, thank you so much for all you do. Hopefully, we're going to bring you on the show again to talk about some of these issues and to see how you are progressing over there with some of these pending issues.
Thank you.
Yes, viewers, I've been on the show with Chief David Okwero Ukweku. He is the CEO of Always Limited and the president of UPU Ghana. Thank you so much for all you do for the youths. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a nice day, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, that is quite scary. I thought it's only when you travel to far countries like the Europe, American, that you see things like this. How come in Ghana, as close to us as Ghana, people
Nigerians are leaving the country and they feel like they are so desperate to be there and they treat them the way they like. That is justice.
How can at this age people are being flogged, people are being enslaved, sex abuse, physical abuse?
You know, then I was still in Port Harcourt. I saw a girl. I think we entered the same hotel coming back, and she told me that she actually went to Ghana because she saw the thing that her friend has been posting. So she feel like life has been good for the girl. She got there just 3 days after and get pulled out. That's start prostitution, and she did that. And then she was stranded. She didn't know what to do. She told me the truth that she actually had to go into the prostitution. That it was, I think she said it was a man of God that saw her. That's okay. If he gives her money, that will she accept to leave the country? So the man had to help her, give her money, and she left. She was even crying in the morning. She was crying. She was like, "You don't know what people are doing."
I just really do hope that the Ghana government as well would do well to curb these things like this. I don't think we should live this era. People should be enslaved, put into prostitution, physical abuse, mental abuse, or any abuse of any kind whatsoever. I think the government needs to sit up. I am quite surprised. This is shocking and scary at the same time, that just as close as Ghana, we are hearing. Hopefully, I'm going to bring Chief David back on the show again. Yes, like he said, sometimes something will happen, they'll say it's a Nigerian, later they find out it's not in Nigeria, they will not come back to undo that statement, and that stigma would have been there that it's a Nigerian person. Anyway, we do hope that the youth will have reasons to stay back. We know the economy, it's bad, we know no jobs. That is why I bring people here on my show, the young CEOs, the achievers, where you can start off from anywhere today, and when you start tomorrow, you might just become that CEO or that person you have been aspiring to be. So please, the youths have reasons to stay back. I know that sometimes it's very hard here. It's hard for everybody, but please, it's better, like they say, home is always the best. Please, we know the insecurity issues as well, please, but have reasons to stay back. Well, that would be a good place to wrap up the show today. But before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London. It is quite fast approaching. So do where to get your stand, get your tickets, and be part of that event. We're partnering with a lot of people, ministries, agencies, Nollywood, and even the music stars. They will be in attendance. So do well. Just get your ticket, your stand. We're going to showcase us as a people, the food, the culture, the heritage, and of course the business opportunity. So be part of Nigerian Week London, and also don't forget to hit on the notification bell.
Share our page because we have a lot of interesting programs.
Like, share, and invite more people to the page to subscribe as well. While you are out there, it's a rainy morning, it's a rainy day. Drive carefully, stay at alert as well, obey the traffic law. And we do this again. Mary, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. It's been a fun ride. Thank you to you viewers for being part of the show. We appreciate your time. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY. Remember, so let's give peace a chance. See you tomorrow.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in